focus tonight, callous gold diggers or true love? Taxpayers fork out millions a year in pensions and benefits to the widows and de factos of deceased ex-servicemen, even though many have never lived in this country at all. The payments are for life, and as David Richardson reports, some families want to know why nobody cares to investigate them.
He always described himself as having what's called a rogue gene. He was very much a ladies' man for the entirety of his life, right up until his death.
So he liked the girls?
He did. There's no doubt.
Leonard Odenryn was an Australian sailor who lived and died by that old saying, a girl in every port. A Vietnam veteran who loved women.
Was he the kind of bloke to stick to one girl?
Definitely not. My dad was always at singles parties. He was never faithful. And his first words to me when I left school as a 17-year-old was, you need to have as many women as you can. Son, you need to spread the love out there.
Son Lee knew what kind of man his father was, so imagine his surprise when this woman claimed to be his dad's de facto wife, now getting a war widow's pension of almost $1,000 a fortnight and a war widow benefits card. 32-year-old Rochelle Casilla.
Is it possible that he would have a de facto?
Definitely not. Can you be in a de facto relationship when one person resides in Australia and the other one resides in another country and they visit each other on holidays?
Rochelle Casilla claims the pair had been intimate since late 2013. He flew her to Australia for holidays or flew himself to the Philippines. But son Lee maintains it was just another fling.
If there was any commitment by my father to this particular individual, he would have got her over on a spousal visa. He would have married her. He would have got engaged.
As his health worsened, Leonard Odenryn did make Rochelle his de facto on his war veterans form, stunning his family.
I don't know why. If I was to guess, he tried to get her a carer's allowance, so he didn't have to pay her any money, so she could send that home to the Philippines to her family.
Len Odenryn served on the daring class Australian destroyer Vendetta during the Vietnam War. It was then he formed his love affair with the Philippines, where servicemen enjoyed their R&R. It was a love affair he continued throughout his life.
He was literally going over to the Philippines, basically on sex holidays, is that fair?
Oh, very fair. He took friends, they'd come and they'd talk about it. He talked about it with me. He bought a condominium in the red light district of Manila, Malate, which he's still got there now.
That apartment is in this building. It was here he had his relationship with Rochelle Casilla, a relationship the Odenryn family now questions.
They didn't have any joint bank accounts. Her name wasn't on any utilities. He didn't get engaged. He didn't get married to her, and he definitely was happy with the arrangement that she was just a fly in, fly out.
Yet the Department of Veterans Affairs accepted Rochelle Casilla's de facto status, awarding her a war widow's pension. She's one of 284 war widows who don't live in Australia.
We don't know their nationalities or the reasons why they live overseas. Some would be for family reasons, no doubt. Some would be because they've gone back to the country where they were born. But they are still war widows, having been married to Australian servicemen.
Meg Ryan is the president of War Widows Australia. She looks after 66,500 widows across the country. Overseas women are just a tiny fraction. So she's not in favour of any review of the war widow's pension at all.
The number, it doesn't really, in my thinking, warrant a review of legislation.
If somebody is deliberately befriend an aged veteran in order to get the war widow pension, that is not right.
South Australian President of War Widows, Claudia Cream, was herself swept off her feet by an older Australian merchant marine sailor. They had 40 happy years together before she lost her husband Bill. She fears lonely, ageing veterans are easy targets.
I hope that they are not doing this kind of thing, because otherwise it really will give the war widow a bad name.
But this doesn't end there. Rochelle Casilla wants more than the widow's pension she's getting.
What's to stop her from claiming part of your father's estate?
Nothing. She's applied. I've seen the affidavit. She wants all the estate.
Rochelle Casilla is still only 32 years of age. If she lives for another 50 years, as is expected these days, she'll have earned more than $1.173 million from the War Widow's pension. Even if she remarries time and again, she has that pension for life. Taxpayers' money, no questions asked.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It's actually gut-wrenching.
Lee Odenryan, now an Outback Police detective, is finalising his father's estate and belongings and preparing to fight off a challenge over his dad's will and estate, at the same time demanding a DVA review of the War Widow's pension.
It's just ludicrous. And I asked Department of Veterans Affairs to stand up, to man up, and to stop this, pardon the language, from carrying on, and taxpayers' money that could be spent better elsewhere.